Do you ever find yourself reacting to challenges without even realizing it? And you seem to have this go-to reaction for different situations. From instinctual responses to learned behaviors, these hidden patterns that shape our lives are our survival mechanisms. From fight or flight instincts to avoidance behaviors, today we're going to discover how these hidden responses impact our daily lives. Good morning, challengers, and welcome to day 11 of the 21 Days to Discover You Challenge. This is Ballori, your transformation coach. Survival mechanisms are innate or learned responses you use to adapt and cope with challenging or threatening situations. You generally will develop these in childhood or through different uncomfortable experiences throughout your life. These are often automatic and unconscious and used to survive or for our well-being. So if you look at my screen, I'm sharing 21 common survival mechanisms. Now, do any of these sound familiar to you? I avoid confrontation like the plague to keep the peace. I deny that my partner is abusive because I won't be able to survive without them. I don't acknowledge uncomfortable situations, I just go do something else. I am living my parents' unfulfilled dreams. Do any of these sound familiar to you, either for you or do you see any of these in your loved ones? Now, while these can be helpful in the short term, they can interfere with healthy coping strategies if you use them too much. So understanding and recognizing your survival mechanisms is essential for personal growth and developing resilience. So today what we're going to do is we're going to reflect on any patterns of behavior or coping strategies that you've developed to protect yourself from perceived threats and emotional pain. How do these survival mechanisms usually manifest in your life? And are they still serving you well? So here are the 5 steps you're going to take to identify your survival mechanisms. The first step is to reflect on your past challenges. Take a moment to think about difficult situations you've encountered in the past. What were your immediate reactions? Did you tend to fight, flee, freeze, or engage in others' behaviors? The second thing you're going to do is identify your patterns. So this is something that we discussed a little bit yesterday. Look for patterns that keep coming up in your responses to stress. Do you often find yourself avoiding difficult situations? Do you tend to rationalize or minimize your feelings? So be honest with yourself right here. The third thing you're going to do is explore your triggers. Consider what triggers your survival mechanism. Is it criticism, uncertainty, failure, or rejection? Understanding your triggers will help you to anticipate and manage your responses more effectively in the future. And the fourth thing you're going to do is assess the impact. Reflect on how your survival mechanism is serving you. Is it helping you cope in the short term, or is it hindering your growth and well-being in the long run? Consider both the benefits and the drawbacks in this situation. And the last thing you're going to do is you're going to cultivate awareness and compassion. So practice observing survival mechanisms with curiosity and compassion and without judgment. You're trying to learn more about yourself in this situation to help yourself improve. So the last thing you need to do is judge yourself. Remember that this is just a natural response to things you've experienced. And the tip for today is practice mindfulness to become more aware of your automatic responses. Take a few moments throughout the day to check in with yourself and observe any thoughts, emotions, physical sensations that arise in challenging situations. By cultivating mindfulness, what you'll do is you'll start to begin to recognize your survival mechanisms and choose more intentional and adaptive ways to respond. And thank you once again for joining us for this challenge and being curious to discover, unleash, and transform yourself so that you can lead your extraordinary life. I will see you tomorrow.